about to find something to set this up. Actually, find something. This big old tall thing. I think I can use this. Wait, so how would I? There's a way to do this. I know it is. I just gotta find it. I didn't even show y'all the finished product in the room, but we can get into that another time. But for now, my shit, bye. How y'all? My learners, my educators, my teachers. Like I said, remember y'all my teachers too. You feel me? I learn off y'all learn off me. You know, to be a great leader, you gotta be a great follower, right? So we go hold on, let me get this. They wanna flamingo with me. How y'all doing now? Damn, my shit look fire. I got 3-strand and that's why I look like less of my hair, but what's good, YouTube? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Me? Uh, I'm feeling amazing. I'm feeling activated, you know, blessed, and I'm feeling good. To sum it up, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling wonderful. I'm blessed that I was given another day, another opportunity to grow in every aspect of my life, and to gain back that I lost awareness on, basically. Let me know in the chat, man, how y'all feeling. Let me know what it is y'all want me to help Y'all, let me know what it is y'all need assistance on, because guidance is key in everything. We need guidance to start. We need guidance to look. We need guidance to feel. You know that we need it. It's essential. No hoodie though. You feel me? Like we need it. It's key to move forward. You feel me? Y'all know the Bible verse, walk by faith, not by sight. That faith is that guidance, right? So we need that. But you can't just have faith, you gotta have action behind faith. You feel me? Faith without works is just dead faith. We need faith, but we need action too. But it's been a couple of days since I haven't read on here, but I'm back, as y'all can see and hear. You feel me? And we're gonna get back into it. You know, there's no need for, on why I wasn't here, because I don't think that's important. I think what's very important is that I get back to starting it, you know, instead of trying to not get back to it. Because when we do things, or when we try to do things, we add up reasons on why we can't do it instead of reasons why we can do it. Because it's the mind that we got, you feel me? We need to add up reasons on why we can do something instead of reasons on why we can't do something. Because we can do anything, but it's our minds that add up reasons why we can't. And then when we get support on them reasons, we don't do it. But let's say we change our mind and our thinking on the reasons on why we can. And since we got reasons on why we can do it, we got support on that, right? Like, remember that.
Hey, we were watching the Manziel documentary. You seen it yet? Have you seen it?
I settled into my house.
We're watching together.
You feel me?
Keith.
Feeling good.
Hey, Keith. No, it stinks in here. What about the Manziel documentary?
It's hot in Texas.
You gonna come?
Very. But we gonna get into this, cause I feel, it's not even I feel, I have a voice, right? And I believe I have a voice that needs to be heard, because we suffer internally a lot. You feel me? We really do. And it's like, we know it, but we don't do anything about it. We suffer in silence, you feel me? And, we don't try to figure out ways or broaden our perspective on how to conquer this defeat, because if you think about it, you can't defeat what you can't define. And what I mean by that is, you can't tackle something if you don't know what to tackle, right? You gotta find out what you can tackle and then tackle it, because you can't defeat what you can't define, right? Remember that. If you can't defeat what you can't define, then like you know what it is, you know what comes, you know what the outcome is, you know what the results is, right? You feel me? So if you want to tackle something, if you want to defeat something, define it first. Define the problem and then find a solution. Cause the solution is everywhere, right? The solution is everywhere, right? We gotta define it first, and then we gotta defeat it. We gotta beat it down, right? So it's important that we define what we suffer from, because when we define it, we can conquer it. And when we conquer it, we can move forward. But we don't want to move forward because we play the blame game. We point the finger a lot. We play the victim. But that can only last for so long until it really, you basically digging your own grave in this process, right? And you don't want to do that, because if you bury your own grave and you alive, you're going to suffer and you're going to feel it until, you not capable. I wouldn't say not capable, but you can't come back up. Or you can, but it's gonna be even hard to do it. So remember, you can't defeat what you can't define. Remember that. Write it down. Take a picture. As long as you get it in your mind. Um, I have some things that I want to cover, but they're in my notes right now. So you feel me? I'm not able to click off and then uh click back and forth. You feel me? But we're gonna get into the book. I'm definitely gonna get back on here though, so I can share, some insight because my goal for this channel is to educate, inspire, and uplift. And y'all could do whatever y'all want with this information that I give y'all. As long as y'all walk away feeling good and feeling free of mind, free of stress, free of worry, you know. As long as y'all get those down, cause like I said, we suffer a lot internally, mentally. But the reason we suffer because we can't define what we suffering because we don't put the work in. We so distracted in this world that we don't do it. So we gotta do it. Because look, if y'all been watching my lives, for you to do something, you gotta start something. For you to walk across that room and go grab your phone, you gotta start moving. But if you don't start moving, your phone just gonna be sitting there. So that's with any goal. If you got a goal, that goal won't be done until you start moving towards it. Until then, it's just gonna sit there, right? So we gotta do it. To do, to do means to start. To start means to act. We gotta act. You know what acting means? To do, right? So remember that. But we're gonna get into this. The chapter I'm reading is make your attitudes your allies, right? So what they mean is like make your attitudes work for you. Express your attitudes in a manner that benefits you. Make them your allies, not your parasites. Allies, y'all know what that means, joining together. So we talking about attitudes right now. Cause if y'all been watching my last live, y'all remember that, you know, when we hear the term attitude, we just hear attitudes toward people. We don't think of attitudes toward things. Like attitudes towards our goal, right? Is key because we don't have the right attitude towards our goals, we won't do them because it's like I don't know, I might do it, I might not, I don't know, like I'm gonna do it later, you know. Um, I've been thinking about it, but I can do it tomorrow. Like that's not a good attitude towards our goals, right? So we gotta put, oh, I'm gonna do this today and I'm not gonna do anything other than this. If I don't get this done, I'm gonna get it done until I get it done. That's the attitude that we have to have. I'm gonna get this done no matter what, how long it takes me. You feel me? The attitude towards it, to it, right? Um, bro, my shit, I damn near forgot where I was at, bro. Motherfucking son blew my phone up. So I had to throw this motherfucker in the freezer real quick. Remember, I gotta remember that I'm in Dallas, Texas now. My shit was on the window, bruh. Let me put it like over here. Cause y'all, hold up. Yo, I'm finna get, I can't say I'm finna get heated cause I'm already heated. Cause of the sun, you get it? Y'all had to get the fucking joke. Hold up though. I still gotta tell y'all the story that I learned from this book. And like I said, I'll be applying shit fast when I read it. You know, I test it in the real world, and it's true. These books don't be lying, bro, because I see it. I do it. I act on it. Remember, if you want to start something, you gotta do it. To do means to act. You gotta act, right? Act on it so you can see results. I pray that this shit. No. Oh my God. Damn. God damn. Oh shit. I mean, that's fine too. What if I do it like this? Ooh, bingo. I'm trying to get bingo. All right. Let me make sure my shit don't get hot. All right, we Gucci. All right, we Gucci. All right, like I said, nigga, I had learned something in this book, and they were talking about attitudes as we talking about, right? And where's it at? And he was talking about I'm about to read the chapter to y'all, but I applied it because I wanted to see like is this like true type shit. And in the book, he was talking about this professor and how this professor was teaching this lesson to these students, of course, and how the students didn't really mess with the subject because the way the professor's attitude was towards the subject. And the other day before we had left, I had went to go get my tire changed, and the dude that was helping me, you know, it was his attitude that showed me he didn't really want to be here. He was just coming to collect his check, and then I know we all go to work to collect our check, but we still have to have a good attitude because I learned in this book that you have to treat your job as important as it can be. Even though if you don't want to be there, you still have to treat it as important, right? And when he was going to check me out, it was just like his attitude just gave I didn't want to be here, you know. Let's hurry up and get this over with. I really don't even want to check you out, but let's do it. Like that was his attitude was giving me. And in the book, that's the same way the professor was, you know. He didn't really want to do the discussion, but you know, he had to do it, right? What? Yeah, his attitude wasn't there. So, attitude is key. No matter if it's dealing with people, goals, your dogs, your work, your attitude has to be activated. It has to be enthusiastic towards anything. Because if it don't, you know, it's not going to it's going to reflect, and whoever's reflecting to, you know, they're not going to really give interest in it because you're not enthusiastic. Your energy is not there. You feel me? So remember that attitude is key. No matter what you do, even if you don't even want to be there, you gotta be up straight. You feel me? The dude was like bent over, you know, just his if you had to be there to see it, because if you read this book and then apply what I apply and seen it, you would have been like, oh, he's like the professor in the book. He doesn't want to be here, but you know he's doing it because you know he's collecting his check no matter what. Like it was just a shitty attitude. But anyways, that's just that. Remember, attitude is key. And if you want to defeat something, you gotta define it first. That's the beginning of anything. If you wanna pull the weeds out your grass, if you wanna know what's causing the weeds in your garden, you gotta define what it is first. Because you can look at it and be like, damn, like I hate these weeds. Like fuck, they keep coming in my garden. Like I hate this shit. Like it's really pissing me off. Really, you complaining, but you're not defining what it is that's causing it. You feel me? We complain so much, and you know we don't do nothing about it. But If we define it, there's no need to complain because we got the solution. You feel me? We not the solution. We found out the problem. Now we can get the solution. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't defeat what you can't define. Remember that. If you got any, stress and you wonder and you trying to figure out what's causing you stress, define it and then defeat it. You feel me? So remember that. Write it down, take a picture. I don't give a fuck. Just make sure you get it in your brain. But we're gonna get into this though. Yeah, my phone is getting hot again. Fuck. I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna just do it right here. Cause my whiteboard is right here. Remember, y'all. If y'all wanna conquer something, y'all gotta define something. Period, point blank. There's no ifs, ands, or buts to this. If you wanna know why your business isn't thriving, define it. And then conquer it. I apologize for the technical difficulties. You know how shit be going when they don't want to see you win. They try to do everything to stop you. But there's no such thing as stopping me. I got feet for a reason, you feel me? But it look like this tripod trying to stop me though. Bingo. Bingo. Wait. All right, let's get it. So the chapter is called Make Your Attitudes Your Allies. And I'm going to break it down so y'all can get this because I know y'all don't like reading, but I'm going to do it for y'all and break it down so y'all can act on it. The whole reason of these books is so I can break it down and educate y'all and inform y'all, same thing, inspire y'all and to act. Y'all need to act on these books because it's going to help you broaden your perspective. We always dig in one hole. We need to dig more holes into so we can see the world. The world is big. It's big as hell. So we need more perspectives. You feel me? You can't just look out this one hole in this big ass world. You need big holes to see the different side of every situation that comes to you. When a problem comes, you need to know you need to define it and you need to find a solution for it. You feel me? And your attitude towards it is going to define how you going to act on it. You feel me? Good, hold up. I'm about to show y'all something. Read this. I don't know if it's gonna show you. Like, the card says how you think. Well, it says for me, how I think shows through how I act. So it's basically saying how I think shows through how I act. That's what it's basically saying. But let me break it down to y'all. It's basically saying what's in my mental is gonna reflect on how I move. Because what's in your mental is just a mirror of how you move forward. Because if I walk, right, I'm thinking of walking, right? So how I think, how can I say this? All right, I'm gonna just say it. How I walk is based on how I thought. Ooh, that rhymes. That rhymes. How I walk is based on how I thought. Ooh, that sounds good. Because if my mental is a reflection of how I act, if my mental is a reflection of how I act, if my mental is a reflection on how I act, my walk is a reflection of my thought. Oh my God. That just came to me. I promise you. I hope y'all understand that because it makes sense to me. But let me know in the comments. How I walk is a reflection of my thought. Because if I thought about walking and I started doing it, it's just a reflection of my thoughts. So on this card it says how I think shows through how I act. Ooh, come on now. We talking. We talking. We talking. Let's get to it. Remember, we gotta stay educated and we gotta keep learning because we're in the information stage right now. And if you think you know it all, you're gonna stop learning. So open a book. I got all these books over here, bruh. If you need one, let me mail it to you. Let me cash up you so you can buy you one. You feel me? I got some amazing recommendations for y'all. But we're gonna get into it. It's gonna be one of those ones. I'm feeling good. I'm back, and this book is broadening my perspective on, you know, me. Cause like I tell y'all all the time, we got everything. We just need to gain awareness of it. We lost awareness of what we have that they try to strip us of, right? We got everything. We just need to gain our awareness on it, what we have. They distracted us, so we lost the sight of what we had. But we got it. We just need to wake back up. Get up, stop sleeping. Y'all like this. Then y'all wake up, y'all start eating. Then y'all go on social media, and then y'all go to sleep. Then y'all wake up, y'all start scrolling, then y'all eat, and then they post some drama on the news. Then y'all like this. Damn, that's fucked up. Then y'all, and then y'all wake up, y'all start scrolling, y'all eat. Damn, that's fucked up. If that was me, I would have never did that. Y'all always doing some ignorant shit. Then y'all, like, this is what they got us doing. They rocked us to bed, right? They said, "Come here, little baby." They fed us with this food, distractions, rumors, gossip, while we losing everything. You feel me? The sight, our mind, our powers, all of this, bruh. They making us lose it. You feel me? So now we like, damn, I feel lost. Like, I don't got nothing. Well, I don't feel like myself. Like, cuz they know what they doing. But these books, y'all better start reading. Read. Open this. Hold up. Why, but why is my phone getting hot again? God damn, Texas. This fucking Texas heat is bizarre. Phone hot. It's not even in the sun. My phone not even in the sun. Let me turn on the fan. But let's get it though. We gonna wake back up. You feel me? I know we are because I am. Let's get it. So it says the chapter of this is called "Make Your Attitudes Your Allies." We starting it off right now, and I'm gonna break it down. It say, "Can you read minds? Reading minds is easier than you think. Perhaps you've never thought of it, but you read the minds of other people, and they read your mind every day. How do we do it? We do it automatically through our attitude appraisals. Remember the song, You Don't Need to Know the Language to Say You're in Love. Bing Crosby made it famous some years ago. There's a whole book full of applied psychology packed into those simple lyrics. You don't need to know the language to say you're in love. Anyone who's ever been in love knows that. And I can say that. That's true because I've been in love, but I didn't say it. It was more so I did it, like it reflected. Because you remember, your mind is a reflection of your body. the way you move your body. How you think shows through how you act. So if that's a reflection. That's like a mirror. If you look in front of a mirror, you're gonna see you, a reflection. So if how you think is a reflection of how you act, you feel me? Put two and two together. It's like a puzzle. Okay, it says anyone who ever been in love knows that. And you don't need to know any language to say I like you or I despise you or I think you're important or I think you're unimportant or I envy you. You don't need to know words or to use words to say I like my job or I'm bored or I'm hungry. People speak without a sound. And when I read to y'all, like, just be open minded so y'all can hear, because when you limit your mind, you don't hear. You hear, but you don't hear. You feel me? Um, the limitation that we put on ourselves originates from our mind. So we gotta think big. You feel me? Cause they just come here. They just come out of here. We limited ourselves. So, when I read to y'all, just keep your mind open. You feel me? So let's get back to it. So he's saying people speak without a sound. How we think shows through in how we act. Attitudes are mirrors of our mind. They reflect thinking. Attitudes are mirrors of the mind. They reflect thinking. You can read the mind of the person sitting at a desk. You sense by observing his expressions and mannerism how he feels towards his job. You can read the minds of a salesman, student, husband, and wives. You not only can, you do. The expert actors, those in demand in movies and televisions year after year, in a sense, are not actors at all. They don't play their roles. Instead, they lose their own identity and actually think and feel like the character they are playing. They've got to. Else, they'll look like phonies and their ratings will plunge. So, damn, what the fuck? Why is this bitch zooming in? Y'all following along? Stay along. If you want to be a leader, a great leader, you gotta be a great follower. Following somebody don't always mean you gonna go elsewhere. You can go down the right path if you can go down the right path if you follow the right person. Being a follower isn't always wrong. Because if you want to be a great leader, you gotta be a great follower. You gotta start somewhere. You feel me? You have to. Because we don't just start off as experts, even though that's in our DNA. But in reality, you don't start off as an expert. You gotta start somewhere. So remember that. So we talking about actors losing their identity to play the characters in movies. It say attitudes do more than show through; they sound through. So what does he mean by that? Let me read that again. It say attitudes do more than show through; they sound through too. So when he says sound through too, like they, when he says they sound through too, like it's the it's the voice of the words you speak that really gets the person, if that makes sense. But I'm gonna read after so y'all can get it, if that makes sense. So he says they sound through too. So it's the voice, it's the way they saying it. It said a secretary does more than identify in office when she says, all right, listen to what he just said. He says a secretary does more than identify in office when she say. So when he says that, he's saying like she's putting more, she's doing more to her off. She's identifying her office more when she says this. Good morning, Mr. Shoemaker. In just five words, one secretary says, "I like you. I'm glad you're calling." I think you're important. I like my job. She's saying it because the way she identified her office, she says, "Good morning, Mr. Shoemaker's office." So he said in just 5 words, one secretary says, "I like you. I'm glad you're calling. I think you're important." She's saying that because the way she greeted Mr. Shoemaker's office. But another secretary saying exactly the same words tells you, "You bothered me. I wish you hadn't called. I'm bored with my job and I don't like people who bother me." We read attitudes through expression and voice tones and inflection. So that's why he said attitudes do more than show through, they sound through, because we read attitudes through expression and voice tones, the way they said it. The first secretary said, "Good morning, Mr. Shoemaker." When she said that in just 5 words, one secretary says, "I like you. I'm glad you're calling," because the way she said it. But the other one is saying, "I don't like my job," because it's the way he's saying it. It's his voice tone. So here's why. In a long, long history of humankind, a speaking language even remotely resembling what we use today is a very recent invention. So recent, you might say, in terms of the great clock of the time, that we developed a language only this morning. For millions and millions of years, people got by with little more than moans and groans and grunts and growls. So, for millions of years, people communicated with other people by body and facial expression and sounds, not words. And I kind of see what he's saying, because if you speak to your dog is not understanding what you're saying. It's the tone and your expression that they see. You feel me? It's the way you're saying it. I did this on my dog. When you talk to your dog, you be like, "You want to go outside? You want to go outside?" Look how I'm saying it. "You want to go outside?" I'm saying it like enthusiastically. I think that's how you say it. Enthusiastically. Like I'm saying, "You want to go outside? Come on, come on." But I did this. I said, "You want to get hit by a car? You want to get hit by a car?" Like she was still doing the same thing. It's the attitude and it's the way I'm saying it. So he's saying like that's how like millions and millions of years ago, they only got by with moans, grunts, and groans. People communicated with other people by body and facial expressions and sounds, not words. And we still communicate our attitudes. How do we communicate our attitudes? By expressing our body and voice, our feelings towards people and things the same way. Aside from direct body contact, body movement, facial expression, and sound are the only ways we have to communicate with infants. And those young ones show an uncanny ability to spot the phony. So, uncanny mean weird. Like, infants have a weird way of spotting the phony. You feel me? So, let me make sure. Uncanny means, like a weird way, right? So that's how we. If you wanna see that, try it with your dog. Try it with your dog, cause your dog don't understand what you're saying. They understand your voice and your body expression. They don't understand the words that you're saying. So he's basically saying like that's how we got by millions and millions of years ago. We communicated with people by our body and facial and sound expression. Same thing with your dog. Your dog only knows what you're saying by your body, facial, and sound expression. Try it with your dog. Say to your dog, "You wanna go outside? You wanna go outside? You wanna go outside?" Say it enthusiastically and say it with energy. And then also say, "You wanna get hit by a car? You wanna get hit by like it's they only understand you by your facial and your sound and your body expression. You feel me? Not words. They don't know what you're saying. They just they know your expression and the way you're saying it. If you look at your dog and be like, "Shut up, shut up," like if you say it like in a mean way, they're gonna be like they're gonna look down like be scared. They don't understand your words. You better read. All right, next page. Let me know if that makes sense. Professor Irwin, one of America's most respected authorities on leadership, says, obviously, there is something more than facilities and competence that makes for accomplishment. I have come to believe that this language factor, this catalyst, if you will, can be defined in a single word: attitude. When our attitude is right, our abilities reach a maximum of effectiveness, and good results inevitably follow. Attitudes do make the difference. Salesmen with the right attitude beat their quotas. Students with the right attitude make, as right attitudes pave the way to really happy married life. Right attitudes make you effective in dealing with people, enable you to develop as a leader. Right attitudes win for you in every situation. Attitude is key. Now, let's see how. Listen to this story. It's a good story. Years ago, when I was a college sophomore, I enrolled in an American history class. I remember the class vividly, not because I learned much about American history, but because, in an unusual way, I learned this basic principle of success living. To activate others, you must first activate yourself. Hold up. This my story. This is the story I was telling y'all about the professor. Listen to what he just said. It's a to activate others, you must first activate yourself. What does that mean? Okay, let me break it down to y'all. To activate others, you must first activate yourself. So what he's basically saying, like, if you want somebody to do something, you gotta encourage them to do it. What?
Trying to walk?
After I get done reading.
What?
After I get done reading.
What?
After I get done reading.
Alright,
Hold up. So, to activate others, you must first activate yourself. So, if you want somebody to do something, you got to encourage them. But you got to encourage yourself first to do it. Because if you don't encourage yourself to do it, then they won't do it. So, if you want to activate others, you got to activate yourself first. If you want to learn how to ride a bike, you got to learn how to ride a bike first and then encourage the other person to ride a bike, right? It just, you have to do it first to do it for them. That's how they go. Simple. So, to activate others, you must first activate yourself. The history class was large, and it was held in a fan-shaped auditorium. The professor who was a middle-aged person and apparently well-educated, was nevertheless pathic, pathic, typically dull, rather than interpreting history class as an alive, fascinating subject. The professor merely cited one dead fact after another. Right? This the professor's story that I was talking about, his attitude towards the subject, and it made other people not want to do the subject because remember, to activate others, you got to activate himself. And if the professor wasn't activated, then the students won't be activated. So if you want to encourage somebody to do something, you got to encourage yourself to do something. If you want to be a great leader, you got to be a great follower. You feel me? So you can imagine the effect the professor boredom had on the students. Talking and sleeping got so out of hand that the professor had two assistants patrol the aisles to break up student conversations and wake up those who had dozed off. Occasionally, the professor would stop and shaking his finger at the class would say, I'm warning you, you've got to pay attention to what I say. You've got to stop you've got to stop this talking, and that's all there is to do. This of course made little impression on his students, many of whom as veterans had gambled their lives only months before that had made his Y'all, I promise y'all, my phone just keep cutting off, bruh. Like, I'm not faking it. Word two. My phone is bugging out. Let me just do it like this. It's gonna be kind of odd because my camera. Damn. Alright, this fuck around gonna be on some other shit. But it's all good though. As long as y'all hear this shit, bro, that's all that matters. Nothing else matters but the knowledge. Nah, this is actually crazy. A nigga is really struggling. Y'all, this shit wild. All right, I did it. Hold on, let me make sure my shit works. Remember, we still talking about the professor. Cause y'all gotta remember, attitude, everything. If your attitude ain't right, then you ain't gonna look at it right. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I just learned some crazy information today. Man, I damn near don't even gotta work no more. For real. But I'm about to make sure. My lips a little ashy. Oh, what the fuck? My fault, YouTube, for the technical difficulties. This usually don't happen. But if you new to my channel, man, make sure y'all subscribe. Y'all like it, y'all share it. Make sure everybody and your mama get it. Bruh, this shit bogus. Hold on real quick. I'm just making sure this shit work. Like my sound and shit, cause when it get disrupted, like it just started tweaking out. But we still talking about attitude. All right, let's get into it. I can hear it. My lips are so ashy. Let's sit a little bit. All right. So I remember to activate others, you gotta activate yourself, right? And we're talking about the professor. Let's say, let's say, I'm gonna just reread it up here. Let's say you can imagine the effect the professor's boredom had on the students. Talking and sleeping got so out of hand that the professor had two assistants patrol the aisles to break up students' conversations and wake those who had dozed off. Occasionally, the professor would stop and, shaking his finger at the class, would say, I'm warning you, you've got to pay attention to what I say. You've got to stop this talking. And that's all there is to it. This, of course, made little impression on his students, many of whom, as veterans, had gambled their lives only months before months before months before had made history on islands and in bombers. As I sat there watching this potentially great, wonderful experience turn into a disgusting farce, I found myself wrestling with the question, why are these students ignoring what the professor has to say? The answer came. The students had no interest in what the professor was saying because the professor himself had no interest. So listen to what they just said. It says the students had no interest in what the professor was saying because the professor had himself had no interest. So that's just like, okay, looking back at this at school, if the math teacher didn't have interest in the math subject, the students won't even have interest in it because to activate others, you got to activate yourself. To encourage others, you got to encourage yourself. So if you're not interested in a topic, what makes you think other people is going to be interested in the topic? You feel me? Think about it. To activate others, to get them to be enthusiastic, you must first be enthusiastic yourself. If you want to be if you want to make others confident, you gotta build confidence in yourself. It all starts with you, and then it's gonna affect them. If you want to put fear in other people, you gotta be fearful. But I'm saying, like, I'm just giving you an example. Don't be fearful. Fear is just false evidence appearing real. Remember that. Over the years, I've tested this principle in hundreds of different situations. It always holds true. A man who lacks enthusiasm never develops it in another. But a person who is enthusiastic soon has enthusiastic followers. This enthusiastic salesman need never worry about unenthusiastic buyers. The enthusiastic teacher need never worry about disinterested students. The activated minister need never be distressed by a sleepy congregation. Enthusiasm can make things 100% better. 2 years ago, employees in a business I'm acquainted with donated $94 to the Red Cross. This year, the same employees with just about the same payroll donated 1,100, an increase of 1,100%. The drive captain who collected only $94 was totally lacking in enthusiasm. He made remarks like, I suppose it's just worthwhile. Listen to this. Hold on real quick. I gotta get some chapstick because my lips is busting. So remember, if you want to encourage others, you gotta encourage yourself first. If you want to be enthusiastic, if you want other people to be enthusiastic, you gotta be enthusiastic yourself. If you want other people to be peaceful, you gotta have peace upon yourself. Dang, it's melted. How y'all feeling now? If you want other people to be free, you gotta free yourself. It all start with you, and then it's gonna reflect on the other people. Because if you got fear, other people gonna pick up fear around you because that's all you thinking about. You feel me? We all imitate other people. If you don't think you do, you lying because you got your walk from somebody else. The way you hold a cup, you got it from somebody else. And the way you think, you got it from somebody else. We all imitate somebody in some type of manner, shape, form, matter, anything. Remember that. Write it down. How y'all feeling though? I feel good. Cause if I feel good, that means y'all gonna feel good. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Are we talking about the Red Cross donation? So listen to this story. It said a drive captain who collected only $94 was totally lacking in enthusiasm. He made remarks like, I suppose it's a worthwhile organization. I've never had any direct contact with it. It's a big organization and they collect a lot from the wealthy. So I suppose it's not too important if you contribute. Listen to what he said. He said it's a big organization and they collect a lot from the wealthy. So I suppose it's not too important if you don't contribute. He's saying he don't think it's too important to contribute because wealthy people are contributing and wealthy people have a lot of, wealth. If you can make a donation, see me. This person did nothing to inspire anyone. He didn't inspire anyone to join the Red Cross and do it in a big way because the way he was explaining it, so he didn't inspire it. So if I, so example, I'm gonna use me as an example. If I didn't have interest in books and I'm reading it, 10 out of 10 times you won't have any interest in reading books because I don't. But if I have interest in reading books and the way I'm breaking it down so y'all can understand, that means you're gonna have interest most likely, 10 out of 10, most likely you're gonna pick up a book because I have interest in it and you may like what you're hearing, right? So this year's drive captain was a different sort. He had enthusiasm. He gave examples of case histories that showed how the Red Cross pitches in when disasters strike. He showed how the Red Cross depends on on donations from everyone. He asked the employees to be guided in giving by how much they would be willing to give the neighbor if disaster should strike them. He said, "Look, what the Red Cross has done." Notice he did not beg. He did not say each of you is expected to donate X amount of dollars. All he did was to show enthusiasm about the importance of the Red Cross. Success just naturally followed. Think for a moment about a club or a civic organization you know that is fading away. Chances are all it needs is enthusiasm to bring it back to life. Results come in proportions to enthusiasm applied. Enthusiasm is simply, this is great, here's why. So that's what it is. Enthusiasm is simply, this is great, here's why. So books are great, and here's why. And my explanation is going to be expressed to you in an enthusiastic way of why I think books are great. So 9 times out of 10, it might bring you in. You might go pick up a book after I explain why enthusiastically why books are good. Because to activate others, you got to activate yourself. You have to. Here's 3 steps. Here is a 3-step procedure that will help you to develop the power of enthusiasm. Number 1, make this little test. Think of 2 things in which you have little or no interest, maybe cards, certain kinds of music, a sport. Now ask yourself, how much do I really know about these things? Odds are 100 to 1 that your answer is not much. I confess that for years I had absolutely no interest in modern art. It was just so many botched up lines until I let a friend who knows and loves modern art explain it to me. Really, now that I've dug into it, I find it fascinating. That exercise supplies that exercise supplies one important key for building enthusiasm. To get enthusiastic, learn more about the thing you are not enthusiastic about. Let me underline that. To get enthusiastic, learn more about the thing you are not enthusiastic about. To get enthusiastic, I'm trying to remember it. To get enthusiastic, learn about the thing that you're not enthusiastic about. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Who this for? To get enthusiastic, learn more about the thing you are not enthusiastic about. Chances are you are quite unenthusiastic about bumblebees. But if you study bumblebees, find out what good they do, how they relate to other bees, how they reproduce, where they live in winter. If you find out all you can about bumblebees, you will soon find yourself really interested in bumblebees. So this goes for anything. Anything. I'm gonna reread that. I'm gonna reread that. Chances are, I'm gonna reread this too. To get enthusiastic, learn more about the thing you are not enthusiastic about. Chances are you are quite unenthusiastic about bumblebees, but if you study bumblebees, find out what good they do, how they relate to other bees, how they relate to other bees, how they reproduce, where they live in the winter. If you find out all you can about bumblebees, you will soon find yourself really interested in bumblebees. Because now, because now you've dug deep about it and now you're interested in it, right? So remember that goes with anything. If you're enthusiastic about skateboarding, learn about it and then dig deep and watch yourself become enthusiastic about it. Let's get into it. To show trainees how enthusiasm can be developed through the dig into it deeper technique, I sometimes use a greenhouse example. In a deliberately casual way, I ask the group, are any of you interested in manufacturing and selling greenhouses? Not once have I gotten an affirmative answer. Then I make a few points about greenhouses. I remind the group how, as our standard of living rises, people become more and more interested in non necessities. I suggest how much Mrs. America would enjoy growing her own orchids and orange blossoms. I point out that if tens of thousands of families can afford private swimming pools, millions could afford greenhouses because greenhouses are relatively inexpensive. I showed them, what if you could sell a $600 greenhouse to only one family in 50? You'll develop a $600 million business in producing greenhouses and perhaps $250 million industry supplying plants and seeds. The one difficult, the only difficulty, wait, I'm fried. The only difficult with this exercise that the group 10 minutes before completely cold about greenhouses now is so enthusiastic they don't want to move on to the next subject. Let me read that again. It's a the only difficulty with this exercise is that the group 10 minutes before completely cold about greenhouses now is so enthusiastic they don't want to move on to the next subject. So you wonder like how did he do that? Why are they all of a sudden enthusiastic about greenhouses? We're gonna go back to it. We're gonna go back to it. Where is it? He said right here, then I make a few points about greenhouses. I remind the group how as standard of living rises, people become more and more interested in non-necessities. I suggest how Miss America would enjoy growing her own orchards and orange blossoms. I point out that if tens of thousands of families can afford private swimming pools, millions could afford greenhouses because greenhouses are relatively inexpensive. Right there. He said they're relatively inexpensive. I showed them that if you could sell a $600 greenhouse to only one family in 50, you'll develop a $600 million business in producing greenhouses. So that's how they became enthusiastic about it because he He gave them points, and he gave them, a vision of what they can do with greenhouses, right? He gave them a vision on what a greenhouse could do for them, and he pointed out things concerning a greenhouse, right? I hope that makes sense. They wasn't enthusiastic at first, but now they are because they had got told what a greenhouse could do, right? He said, then I made a few great points. You feel me? He made a few great points. He dug deep. He didn't dig too deep in the greenhouse theory, but he gave a few points about the greenhouse. And now they became enthusiastic about it. It said, use the dig deep. He said, use the dig into a deeper technique to develop enthusiasm towards other people. Find out all you can about another person, what he does, his family, his background, his ideas, and ambition, and you will find your interest and enthusiasm about him mounting. Keep digging, and you're certain to find some common interest. Keep digging, and you'll eventually discover a fascinating person. Keep digging. If you want to learn other people, dig deep. Find out all you can about the person. You feel me? Find out all you can. Find out what his dog name is, his past dog. Find out. Because when you have the same interests of somebody, it's like y'all connect instantly. Hey, can I get your number? Um, I like what you do. You feel me? Just like that. Oh, I would love if you're free if we can go get some drinks or we can go get some lunch because y'all have the same interests. And he's saying like if you use the dig into a deep technique and you dig deep about the person, you find out all you can about them, you're gonna connect because that interest, y'all got the same interests. I connect with people instantly that read books because they got the same interests of me. They want to develop themselves into a better version. Let's keep going. These tight ass fucking underwear. It says the dig into a deeper technique works also in developing enthusiasm towards new places. Several years ago, some young friends of mine decided to move from Detroit to a small town to mid Florida. They sold their home, closed out their business connection, said goodbye to their friends, and were gone. That sounds like us. 6 weeks later, they were back in Detroit. The reason had nothing to do with employment. Rather, as they put it, we just couldn't stand living in a small town. Besides, all our friends are in Detroit. We just had to come back. In later conversations with these people, I learned the real reason why they didn't like the small Florida city. During the short stay there, they had taken only a surface view of community in its history. Ooh, I see where it's going. Listen, so we talk about the people. They went from Detroit to Florida to a small city in Florida, and they came back. Right? They came 6 weeks later. They were back in Detroit, and he said the reason had nothing to do with employment. Rather, as they put it, we just couldn't stand living in a small town. Besides, all of our friends are in Detroit. We just had to come back. But watch what he say. They say in later conversations with these people. So I'm assuming I didn't read this book, this chapter, but right here, it just gave a key. It says in later conversations with these people. So when he said that, I instantly hear, okay, he dug deep into the conversation with these people. Like he wanted to know more. So he said, He said in later conversations with these people, I learned the real reason why they didn't like the small Florida city. You ugly as hell. He said, I learned the real reason why they didn't like the small city in Florida. How did he learn the real reason? Because he dug in later conversation with these people. He talked about it more in later conversation. He said, I learned the real reason why they didn't like the small Florida city. During their short stay in let me slow down. I learned the real reason why they didn't like the small Florida city. During their short stay there, they had taken only surface view of the community, its history, its plans for the future, its people. They moved their bodies to Florida but left their minds in Detroit. Damn. Damn. Let me reread that again. In later conversations with these people, I learned the real reason why they didn't like the small Florida city. During the short stay there, they had taken only a surface view of the community, its history, its plans for the future, its people. They moved their bodies to Florida but left their minds in Detroit. Damn. So let me break that down to y'all. He said they moved their bodies to Florida but left their minds in Detroit, right? That hearing that is just it's when I hear that, I'm not limiting the answer either. I'm just going off from what my mind is telling me. So they said they moved their bodies to Florida but left their minds because I feel that they were so accustomed to their environment, of course, that when they went to Miami, they were only looking for what they saw in Detroit. So they moved their bodies there but left their mind there, you know. But we're gonna see what it says after this. I've talked with dozens of executives, engineers, and salesmen who have developed career trouble because their companies want to move them to another location, but they don't want to go. Okay, let me go back. I'm gonna change my answer. It says they moved their bodies to Florida but left their minds in Detroit. Now I'm going back because of what he said, the dig into a deeper technique. They didn't dig into it. They only did a surface level. Okay, 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 okay. It makes sense. So the only reason they came back because, and I'm not going off the book. I'm just reading. I'm just scanning it as I'm saying this. I'm talking to y'all. So the only reason they went back to Florida because they had taken a surface level view of the community, right? They only took the surface level view of the small city in Miami. So that's why they went back. He said they moved their bodies to Florida but left their mind. So they moved back because they didn't use the dig deeper technique. They didn't dig into the people, the community, the history, the future. So they like, oh shit, like this small city don't really got nothing. Let's go ahead and move back to our home city. But they did that because they didn't dig deep into the city, the community, the future. They didn't do none of that. They only did the surface level. When you do the surface level of something, you're not gonna really find what you want to find. But when you dig deep, you're gonna find some shit that you was not expecting to find. Come on now. So that goes with people. When you meet somebody, right, you instantly gonna probably give them a time span to see if you really mess with them, right? But if you don't dig deep into them, you won't find out if y'all have common interests. You so focused on like he said, they moved their body, but their minds wasn't there. You in the presence of the person, but your mind isn't in the presence with that person. That makes sense. Come on now. Let's get it. We gotta use the dig deeper technique. Dig deep into anything you do. He said, all right, I'm gonna reread this. He said, I've talked with dozens of executives, engineers, and salesmen who have developed career trouble because their company want to move them to another location, but they don't want to go. I just can't see me. I just can't see moving to Chicago or San Francisco or Atlanta or New York or Miami is a remark spoken many times a day. So y'all probably hear a lot of people be like, I can't see myself moving there. You feel me? There's one way to build enthusiasm towards a new location. Simply resolve to dig into the new community. Learn all you can about it. Mix with the people. Make yourself feel and think like a community citizen from the very first day. Do this and you'll be enthusiastic about your new environment. So since I just moved here, right, this I can definitely apply as soon as I get outside, in like the city and shit. Today, millions of I said Americas, it's only one America, at least if I know. Today, millions of Americans invest in corporate securities, but there are many millions more who have no interest at all in the stock market. Let me say this, if you don't have any interest in the stock market, use the dig deeper technique. Read what the stock market can do for you long term, even short term when trading. Because I'm in the stock market, right? That's because there are people who have not familiarized themselves with what the security market is, how it operates, the day-to-day romance of American business. To get enthusiasm about anything, people, place, to get enthusiasm about anything, people, places, things, dig into it deeper. Dig deeper. Dig deeper. Remember, he's going over hold up. We're going over 3 steps. We still in the first one. He's going over 3-step procedures that will help you develop the power of enthusiasm. We read the first one. We read the first one about the bumblebees, right, in the greenhouses. Dig deep. Understand the bumblebees, and you might be interested in the bumblebees, right? Understand the person, and you might be interested in the person. Understand the stock market, you might be interested in the stock market. But we only touch surface levels of things, and we give it a time limit, and when that time limit approaches, we stop messing with it. But when we approach new things, y'all, moving forward, let's dig deep into it, because we might see some shit that's unexpected and might grab our attention, and now we enthusiastic about it, right? So we about to be on the second one. So it's a today millions of Americans invest in corporate securities, but there are many millions more who have no interest at all in the stock market. That's because there are people who have not familiarized themselves with what the security market is. That's because they are not, it says that's because there are people who have not familiarized themselves with what security market is, how it operates, the day-to-day romance of American business. Come on, y'all, listen. Use the dig deep method. Hey, this gonna help me a lot. It's already helping me. Cause I know since I learned this, I'm gonna instantly apply it. Like I'm gonna go on a quick tangent real quick. So you know me, I'm still, um, growing, growing in every aspect of life, right? As we all are. You know, I learned in this book about this. We were speaking on confidence. If you want to think confidently, you have to act, right? And remember, to act is to do. If you want to think confidently, you have to act confidently. If you want to think wealthy, you got to act wealthy, right? If you want to think courage, you got to act with courage, right? To think is to act. So I learned what he taught me was like he said, to think is to act. So, me being me, growing and learning, I'm in a space where I want to build my confidence. So the other day I was out with some friends, smoking hookah. And these females approached us. They didn't approach us, but they sat down with us. We smoking and shit. And I'm gonna tell y'all what a mind, bro. What this book is saying is true. So I'm gonna tell y'all a little story. So, um, like I said, I'm building on my confidence, right? I'm doing it because I'm not used to doing. I'm not used to being. I'm confident to an extent, but my confidence definitely just grew after doing this. Like I'm confident in everything now. I ain't gonna lie. So, you know, um, like I said, these females sat down with us, you feel me? And I seen them, and when they came, I was putting my phone on the charger. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, go introduce yourself, go do it, go do it. But you know what the mind did? The mind created a mental list of reasons. Listen, it created a mental list of reasons on why I shouldn't do it. And remember what I said? I said, when you have a list of reasons on why you can't do something, now you got the support. And when you got support of something, you're not going to do it or you're going to stand behind it, right? So when I was plugging my phone on my charger, my mind was just creating reasons on why I shouldn't go up to them females and go introduce myself. And then in the book where he was talking about another chapter where he was talking about how we always in the stage of preparing ourselves to do something instead of just doing it instantly. You feel me? Because when we say we got an assignment to do and it's due at 12 o'clock, but what we do is we take a shower, we get the pencil out, the paper out, we cook something, we go watch TV. We preparing to do all of this. So when it's time to go to the paper, we don't even want to do it because we spent so much time preparing to do it instead of just doing it, just to do it. You feel me? So that's where it came in. I'm like, bro, just do it. So what I did is, y'all, I swear to you, bro. After I was contemplating on doing it, acting like my charger wasn't going. I just set my phone down and I went to go do it. Put my hand down and I introduced myself, and I felt so fucking good. I was talking about that all night. I'm like, damn, I'm confident. I'm confident now. You feel me? I felt real good because my mind was telling me why I couldn't do it, but then I just did it. I acted on it, and my fear went away. You feel me? Because in the book it was saying if you want fear to dissipate, you gotta act. But if you want fear to build up, you gotta postpone. And I didn't want my fear to build up. I wanted to act, and I acted, and I did it. And I felt damn good about that shit. And it was 4 females, and I introduced myself to all 4 of them. I promise you I did, and my fear went away. And I felt damn good about that shit. I was like, yeah, I can do anything. I could do anything now. Because it's just like our minds just add up reasons on why we can't do something, so we don't even do it. You feel me? And if you want to get rid of fear, you just gotta do it. Because when you do it, your fear go away and you feel good of doing it. And I felt good when I went up to them females and introduced myself. And my fear went away. And I felt good. So let's get into it. It says, to get enthusiasm about anything, people, places, and things, dig into it deeper. Dig into it deeper and you will develop enthusiasm. Put this principle to work next time you must do something you don't want to do. Put this principle to work next time you find yourself becoming bored. Just dig in deeper and just dig up interest. Wait, I read that wrong. I'm going to reread the whole thing. It said to get enthusiasm about anything, people, places, things, dig into it deeper. Dig into it deeper and you will develop enthusiasm. Put this principle to work next time you must do something you don't want to do. Put this principle to work next time you find yourself becoming bored. Just dig and deeper and you dig up interest. Ooh. Put it to work. Put it to work. I'm telling y'all, we can do anything we want to do. We just got to do it. We just got to do it. Just do it. Don't add a reason on why you can't do something. Because when you add a reason on why you can't do something, you're not going to do it. I guarantee you won't. But if you add a reason why you can do it, I can do it because I got my brain. I can do it because I got my arms. I can do it because I got a pencil and paper. I can do it because I got Wi-Fi. I can do it because I got people that's doing it. I can do it. You know, I'm adding on reasons why I can do it. I'm not about to add on reasons on why I can't do it, y'all. We can do this. All right, now we on number 2. Remember, we're going over 3 procedures on how to build powerful enthusiasm. It's in everything you do, life it up. Life it up. Enthusiasm or lack of it shows through in everything you do and say. Life up, your hand shaking. When you shake hands, shake. Make your hand claps. Say, I'm glad to know you. I'm glad to see you again. A conversation mouse like handshake is worse than no handshake at all. It makes people think this guy is more dead than alive. Try to find a highly successful person with a conversation conservative handshake. You will have to look a long, long time. Make sure y'all share this live so people can hear this, because we need to hear this. Enthusiasm. We need enthusiasm. We need courage. We need confidence. We need it all. We need it all to move forward and to act confidently and bold. We need it. I'm telling y'all, bro, we need it. Every characteristic you dream of or that you envy that other people have, you can get it. You can grab that right now if you want to. All you gotta do is act. To think is to act. So if you want to think confidently, act confidently. That's all we gotta do. If you want to think courage, act with courage. If you want to think integrity, act integrity. If you want to think that you're blessed, move like you're blessed. Show gratitude. You feel me? Enthusiasm or lack of it shows through everything you do and say. Life up your handshaking. So when he says life up your handshaking, make it alive. When you shake your hands, shake. So when he says life up your handshaking, make it alive. When you shake hands, shake. Don't just like shake. Not like shake, like shake. Shake it like you mean it. I don't shake hands, but I definitely gotta learn to, because I usually just dap you up. I mean, I'm not saying you can't dap up, but like, show that he's welcoming in your presence. Don't just dap up and quickly. You feel me? Show him that he's welcome. You feel me? We locked in now, right? Make your hands clap. Say, I'm glad to know you. I'm glad to see you again. I'm telling you, this shit is gonna only make me better. It is. You wanna know why? Because I'm thinking that and I'm gonna act that. Y'all know it's usually 2 books a month for me, but I'm definitely gonna reread this in September again, because September is about to come up, and no, I only read 1 book this month, and it was this book. So, um, when I don't meet my goal for 2 books a month, I don't beat myself down, because I know and I'm aware of why I didn't. Either I was distracted, I wasn't focused, or I didn't show up every day. It could be those reasons on why I didn't do 2 books a month this month. So, next month, I'm going to improve, and I will improve. You feel me? It has to give, right? So, a conversation, mouse-like handshake is worse than no handshake at all. It makes people think this guy is more dead than alive. Try to find a highly successful person with a conservative handshake. You will have to look a long, long time. We're still on the second one. We're talking about everything you do, life it up. So everything you do, life it up. Like, make it alive. Walk. If you walk, life up your walk. If you talk, life up your talk. If you think, life up your think. You feel me? Life it up. It makes sense. Life it up. Life it up. All you gotta do is life it up. After this chapter, I'm actually done with the book. Because I read all the chapters. Oh yeah, I'm done after this. So life it up. Life up your smiles. Smile with your eyes. Smile with your eyes. Smile with your eyes. Nobody likes an artificial, passed on, rubbery smile. When you smile, smile. Show a few teeth. Maybe your teeth aren't attractive, but that's really unimportant. For when you smile, people don't see your teeth. They see a warm, enthusiastic personality, someone they like. Life up your thank yous. A routine, automatic thank you is almost like saying gleep gleep. It's just an expression. It says nothing. It doesn't accomplish results. Make your thank you mean thank you very much. Life up Life up your talk. Dr. James F. Bender, the noted speech authority, in his excellent book How to Talk Well says, is your good morning really good or your congratulations enthusiastic? Does your how are you sound interested? When you make a habit of coloring your words with sincere feelings, you'll notice a great uptake in your ability to hold attention. Okay, see, like, that just gave me a perspective on another thing. The way we say things really reflects on how people react to it. Just like how earlier in the book he was like, your appearance talks to you and it talks to others. So your words talks to you and it talks to others on how people react towards you. How you think determines how you act, and how you act determines how other people react. Okay. It says life up your talk. What does that mean? Life up your talk. Like, be enthusiastic when you talk. I'm gonna definitely get his book. Dr. James F. Bender. How to Talk Well. That's a book. Is your good morning really good? Are your congratulations enthusiastic? Does your how are you sound interested? When you make a habit of coloring your words with sincere feelings, you'll notice a great uptake in your ability to hold attention. How are you? Like, if your how are you or like how are you doing? Like, if it's like that, then it's like I don't even want to tell you because it's like you don't even sound interested. You don't even be like, how are you? Or you can because like you know like I'm doing good and you start expressing how you are. But if your how are you are like how are you? You be like I'm doing good. You know I'm okay. That's it. But if yours is how are you doing? Like it's been so long. Then you get the cheese and then you feel me? Like you see how that was? Like come on now. I love reading y'all. It says people go along with the people who believes what he says. I'm gonna underline that. People go along with people who believe what he say. Say it with life. Put put vitality in your speaking. Put vitality in your speaking. So some of y'all might be like, what does vitality mean? What is Google? That's what we got. We got Google. Because I don't know what that mean either. But you know what? In 5 seconds, I bet I know what vitality mean. Vitality. Put vitality in your speaking. So when I go out in public, put vitality in your speaking. Put vitality in your speaking. Put vitality. Vi. VITALI. See, they say, I said this earlier, if you think you know it all, you're going to stop learning. I don't know nothing.
Hey, Woo,
What?
are you see my keys?
Nah, you drove. You drove.
What?
You drove.
That's not what I had. I had some keys.
Vitality. Instead of being strong and active. Let me write that down in the back of my book. So vitality means energy. It says, people go along with the people who believes what he say. Say it with life. Put vitality in your speaking. So put energy in your speaking. Whether you're talking to a garden club, a prospect, or your children, put enthusiasm behind what you say. A sermon delivered enthusiastically may be remembered for months, even years, but a sermon delivered without enthusiasm would be mostly forgotten 167 hours before next Sunday rolls around. So put vitality in your speaking. Whether you're talking to a garden club, a prospect, or your children, put vitality in your speaking. It says, and when you put life in your talk, you automatically put more life in you. Oh, that's good. That's real good. And when you put life in your talk, you automatically put more life in you. Okay. Okay. It says when you put life in your talk, you automatically put more life in you. Just try this right now. Say out loud with force and vigor. I feel great today. They told me to say that. He told me to say it. Just try this right now. Say out loud with force and vigor. I feel great today. Now, don't you actually feel better than you did before you said it? I feel great today. I feel great today. Well, I feel great. For real. But if I say it like this, I feel great today. I just feel great. That's it. But if I feel great today, you're going to feel great. Now, don't you actually feel better than you ever did before you said it? Make yourself alive all over. Life it up. Be sure everything you do and say tells people that person is alive. He means it. He's going places. I feel great today. Make yourself alive all over. Life it up. Be sure everything you do and say tells people that person is alive. So we on number 3. So we talking about 3 powerful ways to make your enthusiasm powerful, right? I feel great today. Broadcast good news. Broadcast good news. You and I have been in many situations when someone bursts out and said, I've got good news. Immediately, this person gets 100% attention from everyone's present. Good news does more than get attention. Good news pleases people. Good news develops enthusiasm. Good news even promotes good digestion. Like, let me act like I don't even know that. Let me look that word up. Because I think I said it right, digesting. I feel great.
Digestion.
Digesting. Good news even promotes good digestion. So that means the process of breaking that, so whatever that means, just because there are more broadcasters of bad news than there are good broadcasters of good news, don't be misled. No one ever won a friend. No one ever made money. No one ever accomplished anything by broadcasting bad news. Transmit good news to your family. Tell them the good thing. Hold up. This is imperative that y'all listen to this. Cause I feel great. You know the dude off of Frosted Flakes, he said it, I'm great or something. Put life into yourself. Do that, and your life is gonna be alive. Hold up. It's a just because there are more broadcasters of bad news than there are broadcasters of good news, don't be misled. No one ever won a friend, made money, no one accomplished anything by broadcasting bad news. Transmit good news to your family. Tell them the good that happened today. Recall the amusing, pleasant things you experience and let the unpleasant things stay buried. Spread good news. It's pointless to pass on the bad. It only makes your family worry, makes them nervous. Bring home sunlight every day. I like that. Bring home sunlight every day. Don't bring home, don't bring that negative stuff home. Recall good things. You know, we always recalling bad experiences. Recall good things that happen. Even when we driving, you know, because that's when we drive for a long time, you know, we thinking. Recall things that's going to make you smile. And somebody look at you in the driver's seat and be like, why are you smiling? Because you're recalling them good thoughts. Don't recall bad things that just be like, leave with one of those. Right? Bring home some sunlight every day. Bring it home every day. Ever notice how seldom children... All right, hold on. We about to go to the desk. Oh, and my phone on 75. We about to go to the desk. Or we can. I can really stand up and do it. Because it's better. I look like I'm reading a verse. All right. Oh, we had a long day. All right, bring home some sunlight every day. Ever notice how seldom children complain about the weather? They take hot weather in stride until the negative news corps educate them to be conscious of unpleasant temperatures. Make it a habit always to speak favorably about the weather, regardless of what the weather actually is. Complaining about the weather makes you more miserable and it spreads misery to others. So, if you're, oh my God, damn, that motherfucker dropped like a motherfucker. Are we gonna reread this? I feel great. Let's get into it. My light damn near dim. I just want to make sure y'all see me. Cause I'm dark skinned, so bring a little sunlight home every day. It say, ever notice how seldom children complain about the weather? They take hot weather in stride until negative news corps educate them to be conscious of unpleasant temperatures. Make it a habit always to speak favorably about the weather, regardless of what the weather actually is. Complaining about the weather makes you more miserable and it spreads misery to others. Damn! Fucking pencil all the way over there. Oh my gosh. What's good?
You hungry?
No, not for real. I already ate. Are you about to cook something?
It's about to be ready in like 5 minutes.
What'd you cook?
A little chicken Alfredo.
I don't eat meat, remember?
Shit, I just you eat seafood though, right?
Yeah.
I remember that. What was she doing?
Damn, you made Alfredo. That's my favorite shit, too.
I mean, bro, there's not that much chicken in there. You can pick it off.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick it off.
You got it.
Appreciate you.
I got you.
This nigga got tape on the floor. Alright. Look like I'm finna eat some chicken Alfredo. I could have said that more enthusiastically though. You feel me? I said appreciate you. I could have said I appreciate you. You feel me? Like let them know that I really appreciate them, right? It say, ever notice how seldom children explain about the weather? They take hot weather in stride until negative news corps educate them to be conscious of unpleasant temperatures. Make it a habit always to speak favorably about the weather, regardless of what the weather actually is. Complaining about the weather makes you more miserable and express misery to others. I'm damn near gonna reread this chapter, I ain't gonna lie. Broadcast good news about how you feel. Be an I feel great person. Just say I feel great at every possible opportunity. Just say that. That's all you gotta say. I feel great. And you will feel better. By the same token, tell people I feel awful. Just feel awful and you will feel worse. How we feel is in large part determined by how we think we feel. So I'm gonna reread what he just said. It say, by the same token, tell people I feel awful, just awful, and you will feel awful. How we feel is in large part, I'm gonna say it again. How we feel is in large part determined by how we think we feel. So, how we feel is correlated, is pursuant to how we think we feel. So if you feel poor, you're gonna feel poor. If you feel wealthy, right. If you feel wealthy, you're gonna be wealthy. I said that so wrong. How we think we feel. So if we think we're wealthy, what's the outcome? Because how we think determines how we act, right? So if you think wealthy, you're gonna feel wealthy. If you think you feel great, you're gonna feel great. If you think you feel confident, you're gonna be confident. How we think determines how we act, right? Remember too that other people want to be around alive, enthusiastic people. Being around complainers and half-dead people is uncomfortable. I'm gonna reread that again. How we feel is in large part determined by how we think we feel. How we think we feel. Remember too that other people want to be around alive, enthusiastic people. Being around complainers and half-dead people is uncomfortable. That's facts. Who wants to be around that? Look at my facial expression. Hear my voice. It's like, nah. Be enthusiastic, y'all. Like, I feel great, nigga. I feel great now. You feel me? Like, that's all you gotta feel. I feel great. Are you gonna... Hey, like I said again, I just learned some powerful information today. Powerful. Powerful. And man, you know, I'm a student and I'm a teacher. And I'm a student at this game, bro. Feel me? I'm a student. I'm a student. I'm a student. I'm a student. I gotta be a student. Cause a student learns. A teacher learns as well, but not as much of a student. No, let me say that. I said that wrong. A teacher knows more than a student because it's a teacher. It's teaching you what it knows. But a student is a person that learns and that applies, but can one day be a teacher. Let's get into it. So the three things to build enthusiasm. So here's 3 steps, procedures that will help you to develop power of enthusiasm. Dig into it deeper. Dig into it deeper. Remember the bumblebee? Remember the Detroit boys that moved to the small city of Miami that only touched the surface level? Dig into the city, the community, the people, the future deeper. And then, when you dig deep, it's going to surprise you with some shit that be like, damn. Then you're going to want to stay. They took their bodies, but they left their mind. They took their bodies, but they left their mind. So dig deeper into things. Because if you don't dig deeper into it, you won't find any common interest in the people, in the community, in the new city. We always touch the surface level of things because we don't dig deeper. And he said, use that dig deeper technique. So we're going to go over the 3-step procedures that will help you develop the power of enthusiasm. We already went through all of them. So I'm going to remind you what they is. It's the dig into a deeper technique. So dig deep. Dig deep into any and everything because you never know what interest you have until you dig deep into it. Be enthusiastic about it. You unenthusiastic about it because you don't know nothing about it. You unenthusiastic about bumblebees because you don't know much about bumblebees. But when you when you dig deep into what bumblebees do, how they reproduce, where they live, when you get educated about the bumblebees, you feel me? You gonna fuck with it. So that's number 1. Dig deep. Number 2, in everything you do, life it up. So what does he mean? The way you smile, the way you speak, the way you shake hands, the way you say things, life it up. What does that mean, life it up? Life it up. Put some energy in it. He say, what it say? What it say? Vitality. Vitality. What it say? Hold up. Vitality. Put some vitality in the way you speak. Put some energy in the way you speak. Life it up. That's number 2. Life up your talk. Oh, right here. Put vitality in your speaking. Life it up. That's number 2. And number 3 is broadcast good news. Let's say, bring home sunshine. Don't bring home a storm. Broadcast good news. We live in a world where they broadcast bad news. Broadcast some good news. So I'm going to go over the 3 again so y'all can remember. Because since I learned this, I'm going to act on it when I go out into the world later on tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to use these procedures because I want to build up my desires, to build up my enthusiasm, my confidence, my courage. You feel me? Because we need it. So dig into it deeper. Dig into the subject, the people, the community, the new city. Dig into it. Because when you only touch the surface level of something, you're not going to find common interest in it. When you dig into it, you might find something common as fuck that you like. And now you're enthusiastic about it. To get enthusiastic, learn more about the thing you are not enthusiastic about. I'm going to say it again. To get enthusiastic about something, learn more about it. Right? Dig into it. Number 2, in everything you do, life it up. In everything you do, life it up. What does that mean? Put vitality into your speaking. Put vitality into your actions. Put vitality into how you think. Vitality, what does that mean? Energy, right? Put energy into everything you do. How you walk, how you see, how you smell, how you taste, how you talk, how you move. Put vitality into it and watch vitality come back into you. And now you living again, right? And then broadcast good news. Bring sunlight every time you come home. So that's the 3. Remember them. Let's get into it. I'm gonna read a couple more changes and I'm off. I've been on here for an hour. Let's get into it though. It's only gonna get better. This is a good. I like this topic because now you know it's another perspective for me. Vitality. Put vitality into everything you do. You know, when you say how you doing, really mean it. If you be like, how you doing today? You know, they not gonna probably, they gonna give you a brief of how they doing. But you be like, how you doing? How you been? You put enthusiasm, put vitality behind it. They gonna explain to you how they been doing. But you be like, how you been? You know, they gonna tell you briefly how they been. But you be like, how you been? Like, where you been at? You know, you see, I'm putting enthusiasm behind that. You know, they gonna explain to me how they really been because my tone of voice, my expression, my facial, my body movement. Feel me? Like, put vitality in your speaking. Put vitality in everything you do. You feel me? Because it say right here, it say, life it up. Be sure everything you do and say tells people that that person is alive. What does that mean? It lets people know that you're enthusiastic, that you have a bright soul, that you are alive and it is not dead. Enthusiasm or lack of it shows through in everything you do and say. Life up your handshaking. When you shake hands, shake. Make sure you claps. Say, I'm glad to know you. I'm glad to see you again. Right? Let's get into it. We're almost done. Go back and watch this video and share it. You feel me? Because it's only going to get better. My reading light is damn near about to die. I need to put some vitality in it. I've been reading for a little minute. I'm not done, though. All right. Transmute good news to the people you work with. Give them encouragement. Because remember what he said earlier. He said to activate others, you got to activate yourself. So if you want to encourage people, you got to encourage yourself. If you want to inspire people, you got to inspire yourself. If you want to compliment people, you got to compliment yourself. What else? If you want to give to people, give to yourself. If you want to love people, love yourself. If you want people to be confident towards yourself. If you want to express help, if you want other people to express yourself. It all starts with you first and then them. You feel me? You got to put your cape on first so you can fly and then help them fly. So let's get it. Transmit good news to the people you work with. Give them encouragement, compliment them at every opportunity. Tell them about the positive things the company is doing. Listen to their problems, be helpful, encourage people, and win their support. Pat them on the back for the job they're doing. Give them hope. Let them know you believe that they can succeed. That you have faith in them. Practice relieving worriers. Ooh, I like that. You know, we gotta help people because I said we all battling, you know, mental we all battling these monsters that we built up in our head. You know, we battling things that we built in our head. You feel me? Like I said earlier, you can't defeat what you can't define. If you want to figure out why these roots is growing in your yard, define it. You feel me? Because you can't defeat it. You can't defeat the roots if you don't know if you can't define it, right? You can't defeat what you can't define. You can't conquer what you don't know. If you don't know why you're stressing, then you can't defeat the stressing. If you don't know why you depressed, you can't defeat the depression. If you don't know why you're fearful, you can't defeat the fear, right? You can't defeat what you can't define. Remember that. Always remember that. If you want to know, if you can't defeat the worriness if you don't know why you're worried. Like, you got to know why you're worried, right? You got to. So practice relieving worriers. Make this little test regularly to keep you on the right track. Whenever you leave a person, ask yourself, does that person honestly feel better because he was because he has talked with me. This self-training device works. Apply it when talking with employees, associates, your family, customers, even with casual acquaintances. I could say that's true for me because a lot of people that I'm around tell me that, about the work. Because, when I speak, like, it's obviously my goal to inspire you because a lot of people just speak about their problems. Like, that's the number one thing that people speak about is problems and what they go through. And, of course, me coming in, I have to give them things that's going to I'm telling them the truth because I love them. I'm not telling them what they want to hear. I'm telling them what I would tell myself. Period, point blank. And they be telling me like, bro, if this wasn't for you, I wouldn't be thinking like this because I've been through what you've been through. I'm not saying I figured it all out, but I already probably passed what you went through, and I'm in the light with it now. You feel me? Because we all are people going through the same problems, but you know, two things can happen to the same person. One could get rich and one could stay poor. We all go through the same problems, but it's about the attitude we got towards the problem. So that's why I always have a solution to every time somebody say something that they're going through, because I probably 10 out of 10 times went through that. And it may look like I'm a person that think I know it all, but it's not even that because I went through it. I knew how to cope with that. I defined it what it was and I conquered it. Because if you can't define what you're going through, you can't beat it. Period, point blank. You feel me? So that's why it looks like I know what I'm saying because I've been through that. I already know what to do. I already know how to maneuver through it. I read books so I can get perspectives on how to maneuver through these things. All these books I read, they went through what we go through each and every day. Money problems, fear, greed, lack of confidence, lack of enthusiasm, um, integrity, consistency, discipline, motivation. Like all these books went through this. All these authors went through this, and they giving me a perspective on how to cope with it. So now that's why when y'all come to me, I already know what answer to give y'all. But it's about how y'all act on that answer that I give y'all because I went through it. Period. You feel me? I already know what to do. But I want to see y'all go follow the same way I'm doing is continue to walk, continue to strive. You feel me? So because we all go through the same shit. And this light is getting so dark. God damn. I use my computer. There we go. I know I'm dark skinned, y'all. Like, you ain't gotta tell me. Y'all probably just gonna see my teeth. Damn. But like I said, y'all, like, that's why I look like I probably know her a lot because I've been through it and I know how to maneuver. I don't read these books for nothing. I'm telling y'all, I tell y'all that every day. Every day I get on this live, I tell you, I don't read these books for nothing. I read these books to broaden my perspective. You feel me? We're gonna get back into this. It's make this little test regularly to keep you on the right track. Whenever you leave a person, ask yourself, does that person honestly feel better because he has talked with me? This self-training device works. Apply it when talking with employees, associates, your family, customers, even with casual acquaintances. Like, I even see this with, some of my family members. Like, it's always a problem that they're talking about. It's always a problem. But since I know, since I got knowledge on things that they talk about, because everybody talk about the same shit. About money problems, why they stressing, what they lack. You feel me? They all talk about it. So that's why I damn near use the same answer. Because I know what you're saying. I know what you're going to say. Because that's where we all go through the same shit. We all do. So that's why, I know what to say. But if somebody come with me with some different stuff, I'll tell them, I ain't even been through that experience yet, so I can't even really give you much. But I can tell you, you got to have the right attitude to overcome this. You got to define what it is that you're going through so you can defeat it. You feel me? I'm going to be 100 with them. I ain't even been through this experience yet, but you got to have the right attitude. You got to define what you is that you want to defeat. You feel me? That's what I would tell them. It says a salesman friend is a real good news broadcaster. He calls on his customers every month and always make it a rule to have some good news to pass along. Examples: I met one of your good friends last week. He said to tell you hello. Since, damn, since I was here last, big things have happened. Since I was here last, big things have happened. Over 350,000 new babies were born last month, and more babies mean more business for both of us. Usually, we think of bank presidents as overly reserved, unemotional people who never really warm up. Not so with one bank president. His favorite way to answer the phone is to say, "Good morning, it's a wonderful world. May I sell you some money?" Improper for a banker. Some might say no, but let me point out that the banker who uses this greeting is Mills Lane Jr., president of the Citizens and Southern Bank, the largest in the entire Southeast. Good news, get good results. Broadcasted. Good news, get good results. Remember that. The president of a brush manufacturing company I visited recently had this maximum neatly formed on his desk facing the visitor's chair. Give me a good word or none at all. I complimented him, saying that I thought the maximum was a clever way to encourage people to be optimistic. It says, give me a good word or none at all. And y'all, that's where I'm going to stop. So, I tell y'all, we watch this live because, it's good for you. It's good for your soul. It's good for your mind. You feel me? Like, we got to keep elevating. We got to stay educated. And, we got to take these experiences that we go through and utilize them. Because you can't defeat what you can't define. So if you want to defeat, why you stressing, why you think you lack, understand it, define it first. And then you can defeat it. But remember, you can't defeat what you can't define. And put some vitality in your speaking. I ain't preaching, I'm teaching. There's a difference. Don't think you know it all because that's when you stop learning. But I'm going to be back on here. I ain't going to tell y'all when. I'm going to just surprise y'all. So stay tuned and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and share these videos and these lives so they can hear us. It's a community. It's not just one thing. It's a community. It's a loyal community. None like this ever that's doing it like this. So remember that and keep staying on your grind. Stay focused. You feel me? You got to. Because if you don't, who gonna do it for you? Make sure y'all rewatch this live, and I'm gonna be back when I be back. I ain't even gonna tell y'all when I'm gonna be back, but just know I'm gonna be back. Make sure you turn that bell on. If y'all know what a bell look like, I'm gonna show you. Because y'all be acting like y'all can't subscribe. Y'all just be watching me. And I'm giving y'all, I'm doing something for y'all that y'all don't even want to do. I'm reading to y'all. It's like a bedtime story that your mom used to do. But I'm doing it for y'all. And I'm doing it in a way that y'all understand so y'all can act on it. Because how we think, the way we think determines the way we act. Right? The way we think determines the way we act. You feel me? So remember that. Look, this is what a bell look like. Y'all gonna see it on YouTube. Click that motherfucker for me so y'all can know when I'm on live. I'm out here.